All right, y'all. So here we are again, another iteration of Veterans Workshop. We're gonna try to stay on topic for most of it today. Um, I'm dual streaming on YouTube and on TikTok right now, so just so that way I'll try to pay attention to both chats and all the chats at the same time. If any veterans have any questions, feel free to ask. Say anything you need to. I know the big hot topic of discussion is this whole Trump assassination thing. We could talk about that. We could go and start on that. We could talk on that. But if any veterans have any questions on disabilities, entitlements, stuff for dependents, spouse, whatever the case may be, if you have any questions pertaining to that, don't hesitate to ask. And then we'll just go on with it like that. Basically, with the disability thing, there's a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of changes upcoming. There's a lot of things that have been in the process right now. But I think it's being overshadowed right now by this whole Donald Trump incident. Can't really control that. We're just trying to do the best we can in order to gather the information, find out what's going on. There's a lot of stuff being said. There's a lot of things going on. Oh, hold on. I got to start recording this. And I think the issue at hand here is just like, what is the knowledge base for everyone going forward? Right now, not everybody is aware of what's going on. Not everybody's paying attention to what's going on. Some people are saying it's staged. Some people are saying it's real. Some people don't know exactly what to think. Some people are just going off of what others are saying. I will say I'm neither here or there. It's just like, I do believe some people are bringing up some pretty valid points. There are things that are being said, and there are some questions that have risen off of this situation. There's a lot of factors that a lot of people ain't paying attention to. A lot of people don't have prior military experience, and I think that's one thing that if you ask military service members what's going on or how that situation was handled, a lot of military service members are going to have questions about that situation, like the way it was handled, the way security was set up, the way Secret Service reacted. There's a lot of instances where it's just like a couple of things are questionable when it comes to that situation. And then you have, like I said, service members understand how it is when it is coming to pull security on whatever the situation may be or whatever the location may be. Now, not being able to pull security on a location that is an open field, open fields are difficult because, it's an open field. But when you have physical structures that are in place to protect or invisibility, it comes into question of just like, what was the Secret Service doing? What were they looking at? What were they paying attention to? As videos come out, that's why yesterday I was trying to find more and more videos of different angles of what happened, because everybody had their phone out, but there's a lot of videos that you saw, and now a lot of those videos have been like removed. So it's it's interesting the fact to see that, because it's just like you see a lot of these people saying, oh, it was staged. And it's just like, I just want to hear people out. I just want to hear people's opinions on, was it staged? Was it not staged? Did people do this on purpose? One thing that people have been saying is that Donald Trump is using this as a distraction. And I asked the question, like, why would someone say that? And they said that basically right now, Project 2025 has been gaining a lot of publicity and a lot of attention, and not for the positive ways. A lot of information is being shown where Donald Trump has a lot of people that worked for him or worked under his administration are part of the people that wrote Project 2025. Now, not to say that he knows about it. He's saying he doesn't know about it. I can't confirm or deny that. But you have a lot of people in his administration that are working on that project and help assist write it and create it. That's one thing. The other thing coming out is the whole Epstein files issue, where a lot of that stuff came out, and his name is all over the place. His name is on flight manifests. His name is around minors and stuff like that. So stuff like that is difficult, but at the same time, it's just like, we have to figure out what it is that's going on. Because the thing is it's a very good distraction. I'll give you that. If it is meant to be a distraction, it is a very good distraction. Could it have been real? Yes. But at the same time, you can't say that just because people passed, it wasn't staged. Because the thing is you're going to have some collateral damage to make it look real. Like at some point, some people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but when it came to 9/11 and us invading Iraq, it was Saudi Arabian people that flew the planes into the Twin Towers. I'm from New York City, so I know this story very damn well. I was there when it happened. But then we invaded Iraq. But if those people don't happen, if those buildings don't collapse and those people don't get lost, we don't head into war to another country to try to take over that country. So you have to have some sort of thing, and it's just like when you start adding it all up, it's hard to make sense. Secret Service has never had this sort of issue before, where I've never seen it that they've taken so long to get a president out of any situation. There's no situation that you can look up. You can look up the Ronald Reagan assassination attempt, which is the main one, because that one, he was actually shot, and it didn't take over 2 minutes to get him out of there. So that's something that people tend to realize. It's just like Secret Service is there to get you out of the situation, not to keep you there. They're there to protect you. Like the whole swarming thing, cool. This man worrying about his shoes. Why is the Secret Service concerned about a damn shoe? He can buy another fucking pair of shoes. I don't care how much of a favorite set of shoes this man has. Secret Service should have dragged his ass out of there. Second off, the photo shoot. Like I said, that is still one of the best photo ops I've ever seen. That is a crazy fist pump to say. It is a crazy fist bump, to say the least. And then for you to be able to tell security, hey, stop. If people don't realize that, watch the video again. And he actually tells the security team to stop for that picture, for him to wave. And I'm sorry, I've never seen that happening at all, where a president gets shot at, or it's even a crazy situation. Because like I mentioned earlier, in 2016, when he was at that rally, and they thought it was a gun or something, or somebody in the crowd got a gun, or whatever the case may be. Did you not see how quickly this man, Secret Service, just grabbed him, took him backstage? Then once they found it was clear, they brought him back out. So that's the one thing also when it came to them clearing the area. They did say it's clear. But at the same time, the president was actually shot. So that's where it's kind of difficult for me, because it's just like he was actually hit. Now, if he didn't get hit and they say clear and everything, that's one thing. But the president was actually, Donald Trump was actually hit in the ear, and you still kept him around. I was just like, like the process of just like getting him out of there, slowing down, stopping, making sure he had his shoe, making sure to stop so he could take a picture, which, like I said, great picture with the flag in the back, him with it was just like, it was just interesting to see that it was just like, then you start looking at the other things about the different videos that popped up. You see the video of the snipers on the security team on the roof. Oh, so now people are saying that the bullet bounced off the teleprompter and that's what hit him. So that's what scraped him. I don't know. It's just like the stories are going to continue to keep on coming out, and stories are going to change. Probably priorities are going to change, but it's just interesting to see like what people are actually saying right now is just that, hey, people saw him get on the roof. Civilians in the area told them, hey, somebody's climbing up on this roof. Hey, Military Mike, what's up, man? And people saw him climbing up on this roof. They saw him climbing up to the roof. The Secret Service and law enforcement was notified, but they let him get on the roof. The other thing when it comes to pulling security in an area like that, like explaining it, like all those areas are scoped out. Wherever there is a presidential rally, that place is secured, looked over, looked at any vantage points, looked at any open visibility lanes. All that stuff is scoped out beforehand. Where they stage it and they place it is on purpose because they put the seating here or something. They put the space here. They put the prompter where he's at. They have security around him in certain areas to make sure vantage points are taken care of. Now, when you are 150 yards away, a really good sniper, that's a cakewalk. I think what's the longest record is just like about at least 1,000 yards. Is close to is like or a bit it's farther than that, but 1,000 yards. If you have any shooting experience, if you're in the military, 150 yards is not out of this world. Especially with the scope that this man had on this damn weapon. You should have been able to see President Trump. Like, President Trump has a pretty big dome piece. It's not like you can't see the dude from a distance. It's a big target, wasn't moving. You can see there was no wind in the background because you can see all the flags. All the flags were basically still. So it can't be like that. It was windage that made it miss. But he missed those shots. And then the people directly in that line of fire were not the ones that were hit with the shots. So this person was aiming in that direction, basically at that angle, and nobody on the side, basically, of that of the seating was hit. The person that was hit was literally on the opposite side of the seating of where the shots were going. So if this person got shot on the left-hand side of where everybody was seated, and the people on the right-hand side, which were in the direct line of fire of where he was being shot towards, didn't get hit, it's kind of weird. See what I'm saying? Like, it not to say that it's like not possible, but the possibility of it is kind of difficult. Because then the thing is if you also notice, watch the video, if you can catch that video that has the full video, you see that piece of equipment gets hit and then the thing just comes down. So like air shoots out of it and you see the thing drop. So basically the shots went all the way to the right. At least one of them did. And then you see, looks like an excavator. I can't tell what it was, but it was holding something up. That got hit, I guess, in the hydraulic system, and you see it come down. That one was okay. I'm like, okay, so then how bad was this guy of a shot? Because he was able to hit him in the ear. He was able to hit a piece of equipment that was farther off to the right, and then he hit somebody all the way on the left side of the seating. How does that happen? Like, you must not really know how to shoot, which is understandable. But at the same time, it's just like, how did you get to that point where you did not know what you was doing, attempted it? But besides that, even though he was a bad shot, the fact that that building was not secured is the biggest red flag that keeps on running through my head every single time I rewatch the video or hear the news or see the diagram of where he was placed and all that stuff. Why was that building not secured? Who's running this Secret Service detail? I need answers, because that person needs to be found, and that person should not work security ever. Like, ever again for any any kind of situation, that person should not run security no matter what. There's like, you mean to tell me that 150 yards away, all those buildings were not covered by some sort of security? I don't care if you had a Walmart cop or security or anybody. It could have been anybody other sort that you could have had any sort of security, and you would have had them placed on that building, because that building was in that direct line of fire, and that building was way too damn close to not be secured. The fact that there was no snipers or any kind of presence on top of that building confuses me even more. Because it's like, it's 150 yards away. If people could shoot, and I know a lot of people that could shoot, 150, they could probably do it blindfolded. If they knew what they were shooting at, they probably just look at it, close their eyes, and still hit the target. The other thing is you see the security, the police, because it's police. That isn't Secret Service. So it was like they got the whatever department SWAT team, you can see was not trained well enough. Because at no point, unless the rules of engagement are different, because that's one thing that some people don't understand with the military also. Rules of engagement is basically you cannot shoot somebody until they raise their weapon and actually fire or attempt to fire at you and you feel threatened. Because otherwise you can go to jail for shooting somebody that may have had a weapon but wasn't pointing it at you. And that happens a lot, and it happened a lot in Iraq. It happened a lot in Afghanistan. It happened a lot in places where you see an investigation happens because of that. But this is different. You're in a rally. You know who's with you. You know who's part of the security team. You know who's part of the security detail. You know where everybody's located. Y'all all have headsets, which everybody can communicate with and let you know. So you mean to tell me you were on a roof that was pointed diagonally and directly at a building that was not secured, and you did not notice a person climbing up on a building? Yeah, see, I got a bunch of people here that's saying it. No, see, so I have somebody, Dave, saying there's rules of engagement for protection DSLs aren't the same. No, I understand that, and I understand that entirely, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, like, the rules of engagement, while deployed, is one thing, at a detail is a whole different thing. So that's what I'm saying. It makes even less sense because of the fact that you saw somebody climbing on a building that was not you. Because the first thing that would have happened, it was just like, hey, bro, is somebody on the roof? Is that one of ours? That's the first thing that would have happened. Is that one of ours? First thing that would have happened. And then this guy had a scope that was looking at it. So first thing, hey, is this guy one of ours? No. He has a weapon. He's pointing it in my direction. I'm gonna just let him shoot. That shit made no sense to me. That shit don't make no sense to me. And the other thing it was just like, most of the time when you see this detail, the details are usually all in the same uniform. So you can know who's on your side. You had the one in black and the one in multicam show up as, security trying to set a little thing. And I was just like, usually they're all in the same uniform because that's the easiest way to tell, like, okay, you're on our side. You're one of us. It's like, hey, you have all black. Everybody's wearing all black. Everybody wears all black. You don't have one person that's in multicam and then everybody else is in all black. And I was just like, that's another weird one I saw too. And I was just like, that's interesting. And then as you keep on going, did you notice Secret Service, how they were moving, how they were doing stuff? Like at the end, when they get them into the vehicle, that one chick that pulls out her weapon, doesn't look like she knows what she's supposed to be doing. She was supposed to holster the weapon. So she pulled the weapon out. Nobody else had weapons out, which was interesting also. She pulls her weapon out, like, and then you see her like, oh shit. Then it's trying to like put the like you the stutter of the putting the weapon in the holster, and I'm just like, that looks weird as hell. And then she kept it out. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then she finally got it. And then she just stood there and just like, glasses, like it just looked weird. I was just like, Secret Service don't do that. Secret Service practices that. Secret Service, that's what they get trained to do, to get the president out of the situation. Not to stand around, not to take photo ops, not to do that. It was just like it was just weird. Like everything how it happened was weird. Now, I'm not saying it was staged. I'm not saying it was definitely real. Something did happen. Now, to say it was staged or not, I don't think we can say that yet, because the thing is, there's a lot of information that comes out. It's just like, you can't really say it was staged. You can't really say it wasn't staged. It's just like the stuff doesn't add up. It was just like, and then I've seen a couple of videos of a couple of people, because like I said, it's just like, hold on. Somebody said, educate yourself. Trump has first refusal to get up or stay down. No. Not after he's been shot. No. That goes out the window. Never have you seen any Secret Service detail let the president dictate what happens after they've been shot at. Never have you seen that. Hey man, get my shoe. Never have you seen that. Like I said, a lot of people don't realize that, and it's just like, watch the Ronald Reagan assassination attempt. He was actually shot also. But at the same time, a lot of people that are watching this now, the older generations know about it. And shit, even some of the older generations, I was just a little kid when that happened. So I didn't actually witness it. I didn't actually see it. But if you look up the videos and you see what was going on, anytime a presidential candidate or anybody of that sort of magnitude is attempted on, they are removed from that area no matter what, no matter if it got cleared or not. Because you saw with Reagan, he got shot. The shit got cleared. Oh, they got the shooter. But this man was escorted out of there, and it was just like, Yeah. So some people, that's what I say, is just like, it's just like, there's no, because that's the thing. It's just like, the presidents have their protocol, yes. But when it comes to Secret Service and it comes to that, presidential call or authority goes out the window. Because the thing is the priority is the safety of the president of the United States, or possible president of the United States. There's no control over that. It was just like, and I think all presidents know that when it comes to that, you listen to the person in charge, because that's the person that's going to keep you alive. It's not, hey, hold on. Okay, let's go. No. It was just like, clearly you had a location where something went wrong and you did nothing of it. I was just like, so people are saying that Trump asked for more Secret Service but didn't get it. I was just like, even if, the thing is even at this point, you are a presidential candidate. You're going to have Secret Service. Most of the time you get augmented by the police enforcement there, which different levels, different experience, different expertise. But at the same time, like I said, those locations are picked out on purpose. They know where they're picking them out. And the security makes sure to ensure those locations are airtight for something like that. So situations like that don't happen. But in this situation, it wasn't. In this situation, you had security that did not secure a building that was 150 yards away. Mind you, like I said, if you ask any other military or you ask any people that have done detail, it's just, okay, you still secure the area. Like, I know people are saying, oh, some people have not gotten, everybody doesn't have Secret Service. Everybody doesn't have, you don't have to have Secret Service to have an actual security of a location done. That has nothing to do with, it has to do with Secret Service, but it's also the security manager. Whoever's running security at that location should already know and should have enough experience if they are at the level of managing a presidential candidate campaign rally to know, like, hey, we need to secure this area. There's a lot of animosity towards any presidential candidate. You have people, and it's not, and let's just say this, it doesn't matter if you're liberal or Republican, doesn't matter what it is. Presidential candidates, starting from whenever the hell, from George Washington probably, has always had that one extremist on the left side and that one extremist on the right side that is willing to try to change history because they didn't like the person. It didn't matter what your affiliation may be. So it's not like this is out of the ordinary or wasn't thought of. This is something that was planned. This is something that was, I wouldn't say, I don't want to say staged, but this is something that was planned. Security is taken into account. 150 yards for anybody is a cakewalk. I know a lot of y'all Republicans and a lot of y'all gun heavy states, 200, 250, 300, 150 yards? Y'all mean to tell me y'all wouldn't have hit that? Come on now. He's in a gun-owning state, right? 150 yards? And he missed how many shots? And you had the security force looking at him and they didn't shoot him down before that happened? Like, it just smells funny, y'all. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it looks... It smells funny. You see what I'm saying? Like, it smells funny that way that y'all gonna say that he decided to miss. That's what y'all gonna say? He just decided to miss all them shots? One over here, one over there, one nicked him in the ear. Because you hear two shots. You hear the first one. Second one, he's like, oh shit. Then he ducks. Then you hear a couple more shots get rung off. Now, the only thing I haven't been able to figure out is what shots and whose shots belong to who. Because the thing is he was gunned down. What shots were those? Was it him shooting off a couple more shots and then he got shot down? Or like, because in total, I believe it's like 8 shots. He said I could hit with a bow at 100 yards. That's what I'm saying. 150 yards with a weapon, and he had a scope on it. Like I said, the snipers on the roof of the security detail had a sniper rifle. I couldn't tell what caliber it was. You can't get a real good picture. But with that scope, like I said, you should be able to touch anybody. Touch anybody with that kind of rifle, with that kind of sniper rifle, and that kind of scope on it. That dude was visible as hell. The fact that you climbed up onto the roof, meaning you had to stand up at some point. You were standing, right? You were standing at some point on the roof. To then crouch down. Unless the man low crawled his way up the side of the roof. He Spider-Man the shit out of it and then got on top, got in position, was not seen. But then you got people saying, hey, bro, there's a person on the, hey, y'all want to look at this? Like, this guy's, like, I don't know if he's supposed to be doing this, but he's climbing this building. Nobody did anything. Nothing was said. Nothing happened. It wasn't visible. It wasn't seen. And it's just like, how does that happen? How does anyone explain that a person was being viewed. Because the thing is like, I understand maybe like, hey, you had one something. You had two snipers up there. Like when you see that angle of where you see President Trump and you see behind him that building and you see the two snipers there, both in that direction. Now, if you're looking in that direction and you're firing, if you're like, it's just like, it angers me kind of because people like want to argue that part. It's just like, your line of sight, right? You have a good viewing angle. You have a scope of that magnitude. You're already looking in that area. How is it that you don't see somebody climbing onto a building? It wasn't like your vantage point was that much lower that you couldn't see. And it was just like, oh, the person was like, oh, no, you were basically at the same height level because that's why they put you up there, because they know you have a better vantage point from being up there. But the problem is that you're looking in the direction and then people are just like, you just can't shoot somebody. The rules of engagement are not the same when it comes to security detail of another thing and that. Even if y'all want to say they can't shoot them, after that first shot, with those snipers already looking at him, you see that the cop jerked. So it was just like, either you don't know what you're doing, you don't have the experience of what you're doing, especially when you were already looking in that area. So it was just like, either you were surprised that the person shot, or you weren't doing your job. So basically, you're telling me that you had SWAT on there to protect the president, but they actually let somebody shoot with a weapon that wasn't on their team. Like I said, if you have any military experience, and even if you don't, this is why I'm trying to explain it to you. All of these people got an earpiece. Everybody's on the same radio frequency, same line. Hey, bro, I see a guy climbing on the roof. Is that one of our guys? Hey, is that one of our guys? No, it's not. Okay. Hey, bro, he got a gun. Oh, okay. We just gonna let him be. Fuck no. That's not how that shit happens. Especially when they said that it happened, like they seen him climb up like a couple of minutes before. Once somebody gets notified, it's like, hey, bro, we got somebody on top of the building. That dude should have been dragged off that fucking top of the building by his legs, because somebody would have climbed off that shit, dragged his ass off, and probably just flung him straight off the top of the roof and let him land and then ask questions after. There's no way that this dude does that. I was like, do you think they should pull Secret Service out of combat veterans so they have experience? So it's not like, I'm not trying to say that it's just because it's combat experience or military experience. A lot of the Secret Service does come from prior service people. They do their time in the military and they go for Secret Service. You go through your own rigorous training through Secret Service. One of the cool things on it is like the driving thing. You learn how to drive in reverse like a fucking madman. Mind you, those vehicles are equipped like none other. If you've ever been like, I don't know, I know a lot of y'all haven't been to like New York City or been around the United Nations when you have all the people around, all those leaders around the world. If you notice when those leaders are leaving, you have those vehicles, you have that motorcade, right? Between that motorcade, there is always one vehicle. There's always one Suburban, at least one Suburban that has a minigun in the back. Some of y'all never noticed that. Some of y'all never seen that. That motorcade that Trump had one of those in there. They just didn't have to pull it out because it wasn't a big thing. But they have a minigun just following, like literally a dude sitting there, just waiting. But you have a sniper here that's sitting on a roof looking in the direction of a shooter, but doesn't shoot him and doesn't alert anybody else to say there's somebody else there. That's what makes it like crazy. Then I have somebody saying that you see people at Republican rallies with AR rifles all the time. Republican rallies, presidential rallies, or what's the case? So you mean to tell me people just go through without security at a presidential rally? Because then why weren't anybody in the audience armed, if that's the case? It was just like, nowhere are they going to allow that to happen close by. So it's like, to say that is just like, you're going to have people freely roaming with weapons at a fucking presidential thing. And it was like, no, that's not going to happen. This isn't Afghanistan where everybody got a damn AK walking around. And there it's different because the rules of engagement are different. See, look, somebody said 350 yards hitting the deer. That's what I'm saying. It's just like people that go hunting, people that have shot weapons, 150 yards is not difficult to hit. Now, if it's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts or something crazy like that, cool. But watch the video again, y'all. Watch the video and see how those flags are not moving. Those flags are pretty still. There's not much wind going. So the man just plain out shot and missed. But the shots just missed ridiculously. It was just like, you really were an amateur that tried it. But the thing is what bothers me is that amateur should have never gotten to that point. And that's what people fail to realize. And that's what people keep on trying to say, like, people just trying to say that. It was just like, I can't even realize. It's just like, you're saying that this person doesn't have the experience. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. What is it that y'all telling me? Y'all telling me that a person has the experience. He doesn't have the experience to shoot, but he has the experience to climb up on a building unseen, get into a prone position, and fire a weapon. Which one is it, y'all? Well, which one is it? Can't be both. Can't be that you can't shoot, but you know what you got to do to get up on a building unnoticed. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me the guy isn't know what he's doing to climb up on a building unseen in a presidential rally from 150 yards where the police, because it was a police, so it was law enforcement from there, fine, did not see this dude. I was like, somebody said it was a 20-year-old. That don't matter. You know how many people want the basic training that I went to basic training for, that they were out, country folk that went hunting, had their own acres of land and then just shot. I had so many 18-year-olds that would shoot 40 out of 40 at the firing range, just starting. For me, it was a new experience. I hadn't shot a weapon like that before. I'm from New York City. We don't got guns like that. We don't got ARs. We don't got stuff with scopes. And these kids at 18 were hitting 300 yards with no issue. So I don't want to hear the whole age thing. Throw that out the window as an argument. You cannot have that as an argument. Because look, somebody just said, son's been doing this since age 10. Kids are shooting at a lot younger ages now. Because why? People want to make sure they know how to defend themselves. Shit, my kids is on the way already. But at the same time, it's just like, how y'all gonna say that, oh, he's 20 years old. That's the only reason that it's happened. He don't know what's going on. It's just like, no, that's not how it goes. That's not how it works. That's not how you're gonna visibly see that. The kid climbed up on the building. All right, y'all. If you having a little cookout in the back of your house, somebody going to tell you, hey, bro, somebody climbing up on the roof. What's your first instinct? Keep cooking? Or what roof? What's your first thing? What's the first instinct there? You mean to tell me the first thing you thought to do was, I'm gonna just keep flipping these burgers. Hey man, bring me the seasoning. Bring me this. No. First thing is gonna be like, yo, let me look. What roof? What you talking about? Like roof? I was like, I don't even got. Like my building ain't even that tall. Where he at? And you mean to tell me Secret Service did not keep that in mind? Because mind you, if you're climbing up a building with an AR is not a pistol where you can, conceal it, put it in your pocket or something. AR is depending on how you modify it, but I give it like about this. This is not pistol, maybe. Start widening it up for an AR. You mean to tell me something like that he carried? Because you got to also think about it. Where'd he come from? He had to get onto the building, right? So how did he arrive there? How did he get there that he managed to walk to the building with a weapon out? Then he managed to climb on top of the building. And then he managed to fire from the building while being looked at. Why is there no explanation for that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's just like people are saying that, like, there's a lot of stuff. It was just like, look, some people are making points, and I was just like, I can't. What do you think about the flag being hung above, right above him, helping to account for wind, etc.? Look at the videos, and there's no wind. The way that flag was just hung, I'm telling you, that is one of the baddest pictures. I mean, like, not baddest like in a good thing, like I guess I'll use it as the slang version of baddest. Like, that is a hell of a picture. Like, you see all the t-shirts. Man, look, you can go check on TikTok right now. They got blankets. Somebody's making blankets already off of this. Not even just like regular t-shirts, blankets, full-blown blankets of the picture. Like, people trying to milk this as much as yeah. He said, where are the military analysts? Look, find any military page. Find military accounts. See what they got to say about it. Because it's not just me saying this. I don't want to make it seem like I'm the only one saying this and because I was in the military. I want y'all to look at different perspectives also. I want y'all to hear different perspectives also. And they will say the same thing. Who stops for a photo shoot? People are saying that too. I was like, look, you get shot, you ain't, hey, everybody, I'm good. No, fuck out of here. We out of here. Yo, let's go. Let's go. We don't know if somebody else is going to shoot. And that's why it bothers me more with this whole issue is you said the area was cleared. Yes, because you took down that gunman. So what happens if there was another gunman in the crowd? And oh boy is fight. What happens then? Now what is that security detail going to say? It's like, hey, bro. My bad, man. I should have gotten the president out of there, but he got shot because my man wanted to take a photo op. What? That shit makes no sense. That's why it's just weird. And it was just like, look, the dude nicked him in the ear. Cool. He dropped down. The dude had to make sure he got his shoe. Listen, and that's what I tell people. Watch the video and listen to the sound. Listen to the other sounds. Listen to the sounds coming from the podium. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what Secret Service is saying. Listen to what he's saying. No way. Like, I know he's difficult to be controlled. I know that. Trust me, I know Trump. But in that situation, look, like I said, the time in 2016 when they thought somebody had a gun or something in the convention and they moved that dude out of there, Trump wasn't having it. Trump was like, oh, shit. And you see him move out. Then when everything was cleared and they got the guy out of there and everything, he came back and it was just like, you know, but it was just like in this instance, it's just like they just let him. Like, how does that? Come on, y'all. Like, make that make sense to me. Somebody just explain that, because that's the thing. Is just like, ask other military veterans. Ask anybody that's worked on a security detail and stuff like that. Shit, ask bodyguards. Doesn't even have to be a presidential election or ask any kind of bodyguard. If they hear shots, if they're not going to run that person the fuck up out of there and get them out of that location, no matter if they got it cleared or not, that person does not stay there. Especially the possible president of the United States is not going to stay there. They just not. That person is not going to sit there. You're not going to have somebody like, oh shit, and he got hit. That's the other part. Like I try to tell people too. Like, if he hadn't gotten hit, maybe different story. Maybe the photo op looks a bit better. Maybe it doesn't seem as bad. But the president was hit. That changes the whole concept of what goes on. He was actually hit. Now, if he didn't get hit, that's one thing. Because then him saying, all right, stop, cool. I can understand that if they say, cool, he didn't get hit, he wants to take, I understand that. I understand how he is. But you got shot. Any Secret Service, once a person gets hit or shot, that person is moved. No matter where they are, no matter who they are, no matter where it is. It's just like I said, look up on YouTube just presidential assassination attempts or assassination attempts. Shit. You can even look at it from foreign countries when that shit has happened. That these people either have like those protective, I've seen some that they have like the protective bulletproof vest that they just like pull over and they just cover the president that way while they move him. But that person gets moved. That person does not stay there. That person does not stay in the same area of operation when something like that happens. It's just like that it just doesn't make any sense. Then you got people like, I'm not trying to look at all the extra, like, because there's a lot of little small things that people are saying that is just like, oh, some of it is just like, see, and then that's the other thing with people, man. People are trying to say this is like a Democratic thing or Republican thing. I was just like, there's none of that shit, man. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all really do. It doesn't matter if you Democrat, Republican, Independent, Socialist. I don't give a damn. There's no place for that. There's no place for that in the U.S. where somebody is trying to run for a presidency and they're getting shot at. Like I said, was it staged or not? Shots were fired. People were injured. And that's why people be like, oh, it's not staged because of that, because people got injured. It was just like in a lot of these things, people get injured. A lot of stuff happens. Like all these riots that you saw when it was just like some uprising or some movement, people get injured. Why? To make it seem and give that illusion to that movement or something, these people are violent. Or some of the sort, just to make a statement, just to make it like, hey, because the thing is like, how much empathy would y'all be showing right now if Trump didn't get hit? How is everybody gonna feel if Trump didn't get hit? Would y'all be feeling the same way? I don't think so. I don't think people would be feeling the same way if Trump didn't get hit. If he didn't get hit, it would have just been the story was just like, oh man, they almost shot him. But the big story now is just like, no, they shot him. He was hit. He's what was it? Some people he got the Jesus aura, or Jesus was saving him, or the power of MAGA would save. Like, yo, the amount of shit I've seen and heard already, I'm just like, really, y'all? This is coming up with the amount of memes I've seen, the amount of pictures, and it's just like, I understand that this guy was doing that. I understand that completely. I understand. Should I be getting hit? Like, all these people got hit. Look, Kennedy got hit in a moving vehicle. The dude can shoot, though. This dude was not moving. This dude was standing. And a lot of people are saying that it's just like when they see the video, it's like, oh, if he hadn't turned at that right time. It was like they shot at him twice. The dude was like, he was leaning. Look at the video. He was leaning. He didn't do any like drastic movements. The dude was leaning and he was in the same position for quite a couple of seconds before those shots ran. And then the first one, he probably heard. And then the second one whizzed and clipped him. It was, oh, shit. Trump didn't try to act tough then. He was, oh, shit, this is real. I got hit. Oh, shit. And it was just like, but then, like I said, look at the ricochet, if it was a ricochet, but look at how the bullets, like, can anybody tell me how many shots the guy actually fired off? Because from what I've been able to hear, it's like 8 shots in total. How many were the shooters? How many were Secret Service? Or the police? Or I don't even know. I don't even know who took out the shooter. Did they ever say who took him out? Like, shouldn't that dude be like a national treasure right now? Shouldn't that dude be hailed as a hero? How come we haven't heard that man's name? How come we haven't seen who that person is? How come that person isn't like, I should be able to see that dude's name plastered everywhere. Service member or soldier or Secret Service or Pennsylvania Police Department SWAT team member did this country a solid by saving President Donald Trump from possible assassination by executing and taking out the shooter that was attempting to assassinate him. Where's this man's name? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I want to know. Because the thing is that also, what I also find weird is in this day and era, everybody got a phone, right? Everybody got their phones, correct? You saw the guy climbing up the building, right? You mean to tell me nobody recorded that? Out of all the people that said, hey, man, there's somebody climbing up, nobody recorded that? Nobody seen that. Nobody caught footage of this man climbing the building because they just saw it weird. It's just like, oh, dude's just climbing the building. Oh, he got a gun too. Fuck it then. It was just like, and that's why I said just like military, those details, they're usually all in the same uniform. Why? So that I can tell you apart from anybody else. The fact that one of them was in like multicam and the other was in all black threw me off because usually y'all all in the same uniform so that you are visible to each other and you stand out. If you're in all black, you're in all black. If you're in multicam, you're in multicam. But y'all all wear the same thing so that you know, hey, this guy's with me. That guy's with me. We got the same uniform. You all got police or something. It was just like, I found it weird that you had them in different uniforms. But at the same time, it's just like, how do you explain that? How do you explain them being in different uniforms? Who actually got the shooter? Because the shot, like, if you've seen a picture of the guy, it was a pretty good shot. Whoever shot him did a pretty damn good job of shooting him. Now, why it took that long for them to get him? Why they actually allowed him to get a shot off? Why that building wasn't covered? And that's what I was trying to. That's what I'm trying to ask. Everybody got cell phones now. The amount of versions, like I was on, like, look, I did a live yesterday, and I was literally on live. I was showing the videos that I saw, the videos that were on Twitter. Because the thing is you go to the media outlets, they're cutting snippets of the video, so you don't get the full video. You just hear the pop pop, and then him dropping and stuff like that, and then they cut it off. So you don't get the full like 2-minute video. No, it's more like a 4-minute video. There's one that I saw that was the full 4-minute video, shows from when he was talking, when the shots went off, Secret Service taking over 2.5 minutes to actually get him off the ground and away into the car. It almost took him like almost 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, if you count it right, close to 4 minutes to get a president that got shot from a podium to a car that was maybe 50, 60 yards away. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes to get somebody out of a situation like that. But the Secret Service, Dan Manga said the Secret Service that were there at that function need to step down. Bro, those people should not get any kind of security job. Like, look, I don't even want them at Walmart. Put it like that. I don't even want them at Walmart. If that's the job you did to secure a presidential candidate, you should not be working as Secret Service. But then again, who was in charge of the Secret Service? There's always that one person that's in charge of that security detail. Who's that person? I don't care about the Secret Service people. That's what I said. The woman fumbling the holster, that was hilarious. And I was just like, hold up. This woman really fumbling that pistol into that holster like she's never held a weapon before. It was like she didn't know where her holster was. And I was just like, that's odd. I was just like, anybody that owns a pistol and has a holster, I don't think you've ever done that. Or have you done that? Maybe you missed once. Maybe you hit the tip the first time. But like you just lost, like you digging through your coat pocket for that piece of candy that just happened to fell out the wrapper when you was getting it out there. It's just like, that's what it looked like she was doing, trying to dig for it. And it's just like, nah, bro, no, don't give me that. That's just odd. And then everybody looking like the Men in Black in front of the vehicle, just like, hold on. Okay, we good. We're just like, what? I'm just like, I was like, that was just crazy to me because I'm just like, what is going on here? I was just like, these people don't know what they're doing, or whoever they had was people that were not properly trained. And last I checked, to be part of the Secret Service, you get some pretty damn heavy training. And if you can't keep up with the training, you don't make it to the Secret Service. If you're in the Secret Service, you're usually on that detail because you are protecting people of importance. These people were not doing that. These people were not trying to, like, the first guy, like the first dude that got up on the podium and tried to jump on him, that dude got experience because that dude saw that and he flew up there. The rest of them took him a bit longer to get to him. But then at the same time, it's just like trying to cover him. Like, y'all seen that when he was trying to cover him with the arm, like trying to, like, hold on. Don't look at the president. Don't look at the president. And then Trump just like, fight, read his lips, fight. And it's just like, how are y'all gonna work that? How are y'all supposed to work that? How are y'all supposed to get something out of that? Like, how does that work? Like, how do y'all allow that? How is the Secret Service you allow that? How is it that you stop 2 times. You stopped the first time when you got him up. Had to make sure his shoes was on. But we grab your shoe after. I ain't give a fuck about no damn shoe. I'm making sure your ass is safe. I'm making sure your ass is in this fucking bulletproof, bomb-proof, explosive, missile-proof Suburban or Tahoe, and then I can worry about your damn shoe. I can send somebody back for your shoe. I was just like, people saying... I was just like, I don't know, but y'all, there's no such thing as... It's just it doesn't happen that way. It just can't happen. And you can't tell me that people were not aware of that's what was going on. It was like he got hit, y'all. He got hit. Well, they say he got hit. Rules of engagement change when somebody gets hit. Whether deployed or not, rules of engagement change when you got hit. If who you are watching gets hit, rules of engagement change. You turn fire, you try to get the person under cover, see if they need any kind of medical attention, and you get them the fuck out of there. You don't fucking sit and wait and try to take it just like, bro, I got shot. You ain't gonna pull no like 50 Cent and try to be on the album cover like this with the damn thing like all. No, man, you don't do that. You get them the hell out of there. I was just like, and that's what people don't understand. That it was just like, look, check other military veterans, people that have like, because the thing is I don't have expertise in Secret Service. Some people do have expertise in Secret Service. Some people worked for the Secret Service. Some people have. I seen somebody that was said that they were a prior sniper, and you see that, and it's just like they themselves are just like questioning the fact, like, did this really happen? Was this something that was actually there? Like, who saw this? How was it seen? Like, how was it pictured? Like, how did people not realize the president was shot and tried to get him out? It was just like there's a lot of questions when it comes to it. Like I said, something did happen yesterday. It did happen. Not saying it was fake. Not saying it was real. Well, it was definitely real, and that's the one thing we gotta say. Something actually did happen yesterday. Now, the question is it staged? Was it staged? Was it just like a coincidence that everything just happened to go wrong? Is it just terrible planning or terrible execution? Because those are possibilities also. You got inexperienced Secret Service, or you got inexperienced enforcement, police enforcement, or SWAT team or whatever experience that they don't have real world experience, and they weren't used to the situation, which is a viable thing. Because if it's your first time dealing with something like that, it's first processing it, and then it's just like, okay, instincts take over. Once you have that experience, it's just instincts take over. But for a security detail to not see a person climbing up a building that was in their line of sight, that's a lot of red flags, and I'm sorry. That it's hard to explain that. It's hard to see that, where you have people looking in your direction. That's like me looking at y'all in the camera right now. Like looking at y'all in the camera, and this behind me, the little whatever y'all see that's behind me, y'all don't see it. How y'all don't see what's behind me? I was just like, it's on a rooftop. And like I said, I know a lot of people have fired weapons. A lot of y'all customize y'all weapons. A lot of y'all got scopes on y'all weapons. There's all variety of scopes. If you go hunting, I know you got a scope on your rifle. Now, if you have that and you are looking at any direction, 150 yards looks like it's maybe 70 with the zoom, depending on how good of a zoom you have. It could be even farther. Like I said, you should be able to touch the person. That's what it looks like through the scope. But you weren't able to see that. And there was two of them up there, and they were both looking in that direction. Because why? Why were they placed there? Because they know that is a location of risk. Because you have a bunch of buildings unsecured that have a line of sight towards where the president will be. So you have that line of sight. You see that line of sight. Why wasn't there security at that location? Because for that, you don't need Secret Service to pull security there. You don't need SWAT to pull security there. You can just go and secure that. Hey, police department, I just need a couple of y'all people. Just give me like about 10, 15 of y'all. Don't worry, we'll cover y'all. We'll give them overtime. I just need y'all to secure this facility on this area and make sure nobody fucks with it. Nobody's in the buildings. Nobody comes in and out of the building. Nobody's around the building. Nothing. And it's just like, ask military personnel. Ask anybody that pulled any kind of security in any kind of location that they were deployed. Just ask them. Ask them if you have a visible location where you are going to go to or you are at, and you will not have somebody at a vantage point where you are trying to ensure your team and your safety. You are ensuring that nobody can get to that point and nobody's at that visualization to be able to target you and have an advantage. Because the thing is just like being higher up, it's easier. You can see more. But at the same time, you're in a location where, look at the diagram, y'all. That's what I say. Look at the diagram. Look at the diagram of where he was at, where he climbed up on. It's not like this dude was like camouflaged with the roof. You seen him climb up there because you were looking in that direction, because that's a location of concern. That's where they put him. And like I was saying earlier, in those times you would put Secret Service, or you would put a sniper of your own at that location facing where the president is at. You know why? Because now that sniper would have visibility on anybody that's in the crowd. Anybody act the fool, do something weird or something like that, that sniper now has that same visibility to see everybody in the crowd. So you would have had a sniper covering there. That sniper's covering this way. So you got one person here. The other person was there. Two like this, and they're both looking directly into the direction of where the buildings are. If you have another security detail there pointing inward, the same way the shooter was pointing towards them and them pointing towards there, you don't need to cover that building anymore because you have somebody already on there, but you didn't. So that's why it's like crazy that you had people looking directly into that location and people were not assessing the building. That shit doesn't add up. It just doesn't make any sense. You would know, like, hey, I need to pay attention in this area. I need to look at this area. That's why I got put here. So I can look at that area because, hey, something might be weird. Hey, Secret Service, there's somebody climbing. See, and that's another thing I keep seeing and keep hearing. Secret Service and the police were notified minutes, not seconds. 3 to 5 minutes. Some even saying that it was longer than that. I give them 3 to 5 minutes. Like I said, if you're in the military and you're on a detail, everybody's on that earpiece. Everybody's on that walkie-talkie It's not a walkie-talkie. It's probably one of the voice-activated ones, and they're just on there talking to each other. I was just like, hey, bro, is he one of ours? That's the first question that comes out your mouth. Is that one of ours? It's not even I see it, because they know. Well, you're gonna say, hey man, I see somebody on the roof. Is that one of ours? That's gonna be the first thing you radio back, just to get confirmation, because it's just like, hey, I need to know, is this guy one of ours? Is it not? Because it's just like, hey, oh yeah, we got that's team whatever climbing up on the thing. They thought they saw something. Cool, got it. And then you disregard, because now you have assurance and you've been cleared to know that, hey, the person that's climbing up on that building as part of the security detail, we don't got to worry about them. That is not our area of thing. But at the same time, we're already looking in that area, and both of y'all were looking at that area with those scopes. Like I said, the scopes that those snipers had for the police force, you can touch somebody with how well you can see on those things. But that didn't happen. I was like, and then a lot of people, the big question that people keep asking is like, why would it be staged? That is a $1 million question, right? Let's see. I'm not saying this is my ideas. These are the ideas, like I said, as I've been on social media more and more, like once you click on one thing and you listen to it and you like it, or you listen to it, it sees that, it was like, okay, this is interesting to him. Let's keep on feeding him. Okay. So I've seen Project 2025 as one of the issues. I've seen the Epstein files, list, documents thing be another issue, as being as a distraction. You're using it as a distraction to get people away from what's actually going on. Because the thing is right now the talk of the town was Project 2025, because people are actually following what's going on with it. People are actually reading within it, seeing the issues, seeing what they're trying to do, eliminating the Department of Justice, eliminating DIE training, eliminating the Department of Education. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they're putting in there. If y'all get the time, skim through 922 pages of policy that is being pushed by I think it's the Heritage Foundation. Just take the time to read that document if you can, skim through it and see what it is that they're trying to do. So one thing that people fail to mention is that it was found that of the people that wrote that policy, about 140 of those members that wrote that policy in the Heritage Foundation used to work in the previous Trump administration. Coincidence? Could be. Could be a coincidence. Rarely is it a coincidence that 140 people that you had working under you at some point in time in your thing all happen to work in the same thing, which is fine. It's not here or there. That's not saying he's part of it or not. The thing is that Heritage Foundation is also sponsoring his campaign, which if you look into nonprofits, which I do my studies in that, I'm getting my master's in public administration with a secondary discipline of nonprofits. You see that nonprofits are not supposed to affiliate themselves with politics, but the Heritage Foundation is doing so. So basically they are gaining their tax exemption or claiming to be tax exempt for that reason, but they are sponsoring political entities, which is against being a nonprofit. The other thing with that is just like that came out and it's for President Trump, because Project 2025 is not there to support President Biden. So that's the one thing a lot of people don't talk about or don't say. President Biden is not who they wrote Project 2025 for. unless you can tell me differently, unless somebody can prove it differently, that Project 25 is meant to be for whatever president comes into power. Nobody's been able to tell me that it was for President Biden. Nobody has been able to tell me that Project 2025 is also supporting President Biden. So basically, whether he doesn't like it or not, or doesn't know about it, Project 2025 is for him. That's one thing. People started reading a bunch of the stuff that's in there, a bunch of the negative stuff, a bunch of the stuff that makes no sense, and it's more corporate greed, stuff like that, get people taken away, stuff like that. Rules and regulations being like dumbed down or just like removed in general to give people an easier alleyway. But at the same time, like I said, you've never heard anything attached from Project 2025 to President Biden. I don't want to say Democrats or Republicans, because it's basically, it's the Republican Party that is doing this Project 2025. So it's not a Democratic Party. But if you don't do that, it is the Heritage Foundation that is doing it, which is a nonprofit, but falls under Republican ties, which as a nonprofit, you are not supposed to. So that's one thing with the elections right there. The next thing that I heard of the distraction of it being staged or wording is the whole Epstein information coming out. Pictures of him with Epstein, a lot of pictures, documents with his name and Epstein included, stuff with him and minors being said and brought out. Like I said, some allegations, some stuff, pictures don't lie. There's multiple pictures of him hanging out with them, partying with them, stuff like that. And it was just like, if you partying with the dude, that's kind of questionable. I don't know how y'all feel about that or what y'all may say, but if you got pictures of somebody, if you always hanging out with somebody and this person is known to be a known drug dealer and you are always with said drug dealer, you probably either dealing drugs with them or you using them. You kind of close to a person that is a known drug dealer. Shit, that's how they convict all these other people. But it's just weird for the Donald, though. Oh, yeah. So, and phone call logs also. That's on there. So now, if you get shot in the ear, or you get possibly assassinated, or there's an attempt to assassinate you, what are people going to be talking about? People are going to stop looking up or researching Project 2025 because look at how the media has blasted it all over. There's no talk about Project 2025. You don't hear about it. It's been quieted, at least for today and tomorrow and the next couple of days, because now it's all just going to be the different stories that you hear of this assassination attempt. Within later, I give it probably evening news, y'all could probably quote me on this, where a whole bunch of information of that shooter is going to come out. Okay, so somebody said the Heritage Foundation writes conservative plan for all conservative nominees 2016 as well. So they've been breaking the law since 2016 because as a nonprofit, you are not supposed to affiliate yourself with politicians or politics. So you yourself basically just reinforce the fact that they were doing what they weren't supposed to be doing. But like I said, this is something that is not associated with Biden. So why is it that just Project 2025 would work for Trump and not for Biden? I don't understand that. You trying to fulfill the thing, you should be able to incorporate both people if you're trying to actually fix it for the people, right? That's what they're claiming. They're doing it for the people. But you're doing it for the Conservative Party and the Republican Party, but not doing it for the Democratic Party or the Democratic politician, which I find interesting, but people disregard that and they leave it. But like I said, that's the reasons why people are saying People are saying, I'm not saying this, but it makes a pretty good connection when you say, hey, this person is doing this to try to divert attention from what's going on. Because right now, all you see everywhere is that photo. I'm telling you, that's a badass photo. That's a pretty damn good photo. But that's what you see everywhere. You see the flag. You see him fist pumping, telling people, fight, fight, fight. Nobody running. Everybody just staying there. People in the line of fire not getting hit. And all this information coming out of things that people were paying attention to, because a lot of people weren't even thinking about it. A lot of people started looking into Project 2025 because a lot of information was starting to come out on it. A lot of information was starting to come out and people were starting to catch wind of it. And then you see a bunch of people that are even going about filing an IRS complaint against the Heritage Foundation for what they're doing and doing that to the Republican Party. So a lot of people are doing that also as a way of like, hey, we are going to do this. Why? Because of the fact that you yourself are causing this turmoil with Project 2025. So people are researching it. People are looking into it. People are seeing, I was like, damn, what are they trying to do with the country? Only way to get people to stop doing that is if you got something bigger and badder that wipes it out. That's how the media has been doing it for years. It's easy to make you change your mind. I was just like, one thing happens or something is catching on. Hey, bro, look over there. Squirrel. You just got hit with the squirrel effect. That's literally what just happened. Everybody just got hit with the squirrel effect. The squirrel. Where? You just looking for the squirrel. I was just like, they gave you the squirrel to find. It was him being shot. That's what people are saying. I'm not like, does it make sense? The crazy thing about conspiracy theories sometimes is like some of them make too much fucking sense. And it's just like, is it a conspiracy theory if it makes sense? If the shit adds up that people are saying, is it a conspiracy theory? Is it something that was staged to cause a conspiracy theory? Because at the same time, everybody here is paying attention to what? Donald Trump getting shot. The biggest outcry and the biggest thing going on right now is, was it staged? That's the biggest question right now. That's what everybody's tuning into. Everybody's looking into. Everybody's doing research here. Shit, Twitter, like I said, if everybody would put all this effort into research and for the better good of humanity, we would be 100 years advanced right now from where we are right now. But people don't do that. Because look, the way that Twitter was able to find, like somebody already posted the shooter's house. Like they found the picture of the dude's house already, and it wasn't even like the next day. Like the FBI, I think, had just confirmed who they was. It was just like, yes, we've identified so-and-so as the person that did this. And it's just like, they got a picture of the dude's house. Oh, this dude lives here. Somebody snapped the picture already. They're like, damn, he was a Republican voter. He registered as a Republican voter, and there's a video of him saying that he hates Republicans and he hates Donald Trump. If you haven't seen that video, Twitter has a lot of info. The thing is, you know, you got to take your bits and pieces of what you see from what they say. It's an election year. An election year is always filled with so much drama, so much issues. And the thing is if you notice the drama keeps getting worse, the less people want to hear about the shit. The less people are starting to be concerned with the election and voting and all this shit, the more shit tends to happen. You got stuff and changes that's been happening, like shit. There's stuff that's happening for even in Project 2025. There's stuff that doesn't benefit better veterans there, where I believe they're trying to get rid of. I can't remember it exactly, but I know it was like part with the veterans where they're just trying to eliminate part of like the process of the veteran. I think it is just to make it like a more corporate run for veteran to get care. Like they doing a shit ass job with veteran affairs now. Let alone you want to make it that it's a privately funded or privately operated thing where we're having problems getting contracted people to take care of veterans. Now you want to make it completely contracted so that basically those big name corporations and thing get their money. See, so now, and then the thing is like I said, now the information, like I said, by the end of the day today, there's gonna be information and video recordings. You're gonna have the interview with the fucking his high school principal. You know, the usual shit that they do when something like this happens. You're gonna find that information. It's just like, hey man, we are here at what the Bethel something, Pennsylvania, where shooter whatever resided and graduated high school from high school right here, and we are going to talk about his to his principal about the situation. Yes, principal so and so. How was this? Well, you know, he was always he was a good kid, good student. He always tried to integrate himself, but sometimes it would seem like he was just kind of like an outcast, and he would always be away from people and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I seen a video of him in the graduation, but you know that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen that the principal's gonna be asked questions, or one of his teachers, and the dude was kind of weird. He was kind of quiet. He kept to himself. He was always talking about. I think I seen something that he wanted us like learn how to make explosives or some like. It's always something like that. But the thing is, it's just like that's what tends to happen when it comes to any of these situations. It's always a extremist that does this. It's always an extremist. But hey, he sucked. Luckily, he sucked. Luckily, he was not a good shot. Because if he would have been a good shot, the news would have been entirely different today. It would have been a whole different story. President Trump was assassinated instead of there was an attempt of assassination on the president. If the guy actually had a better shot. But like I said, when you start adding all the stuff up, you start listening to everybody's different videos, you start talking to military veterans, you start asking military veterans, and they start telling you like, you know what, it smells funny. The way security was pulled is incorrect. You got to ask military service members, ask people that deployed, ask people that were trying to be put on a detail, ask people that were like there to try to take care of the situation or provide security for anybody. That those vantage points were always covered. Those vantage points were always covered. If something weird is happening, that gets radioed in on a radio and it gets notified of something happening. I was just like, look, if you're in a foxhole, like, and you do this, sometimes you even do this in simple training. Like that was like one of the first trainings when I was in the military where it's just like you're in a foxhole and, you know, they call it Op 4. You go to Fort Irwin or you go to JRTC, Fort Irwin in California or Fort Polk in Louisiana, and you have your foxhole, so you dig your fighting position and stuff like that, and you're sitting there and you have people coming. Now, depending on how they have the radios and stuff like that, you usually have those certain fighting positions which have like a 50 cal mounted on it for anything, and it's just like, hey bro, we got a couple people coming in through the wood line. Are we tracking anybody through the wood line or something like that? That gets the first thing that gets radioed is back. You see something crazy, you see something out of the ordinary, you radio it back, you tell people like, hey, we just saw this. This is going on. This is what's happening. What do you want us to do? If they approach, hit them with the challenge and password, which is a way that military does it. You yell out the challenge, whatever it may be, they have to answer with the password, whether it's in a sentence or just answering the password, because you establish that every day. And that shit changes every day. So basically with that security detail, y'all had y'all numberings, y'all had who was who, y'all had who was located in what location, you had what perimeter was you were in charge of. It was like, hey, what's line of sight do you cover? What line of sight do you see? Who's covering you? What happens if this happens? You go through all this planning before that. Because it's not like when it comes to these details, it's not like a next day thing. President Trump, President Biden, Obama, anybody, there's never like a next day rally. There's never like, you know what? Oh, shit. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday. Man, we're going to be in Pennsylvania. Look, we just going to go to this field real quick and we're just going to do a quick rally. That does not happen. All these places are like vetted. All these locations are vetted. It was just like, yeah, if it's to reach a certain group, certain constituents, certain community, they're going to go and find that community. They're going to go to that location, but they are going to scope out like, hey, this place offers the best security and the best safety for our presidential candidate to speak to the people. When you see shit, and trust me, I do understand that it's not always, they don't always get a large security team. They at least have, I think it's 6. Because I myself ran into, and then people, like, I ran into Bill Clinton once in New York City on 57th Street. I believe it was on 8th Avenue. He was coming out of a building. When he was coming out the building, I was just walking because I was walking to work. It was like, I forget what the building was. There was 4 dudes in suits already like standing out just looking. I'm just like, okay, that's weird. Come out the door. I'm just like, oh shit, Mr. President. Shook the dude's hand. I was in fucking shock. I was just like, oh shit, I should. It was like, have a good day, young man. I was like, oh shit. And then I kept on walking to work and I was just like, bro, I just shook the fucking president's hand. He wasn't president then. It was like after the fact. But I saw that, but it was just like, he has security around him. But the thing is it wasn't a publicized location. That wasn't something that was known. Like everybody didn't know, hey, former President Clinton is in this building. He's about to come out. No, they kept it low profile and stuff like that. If it's high profile, when you see that, that doesn't happen. Security is there. And yes, people keep saying that if it was like, to say it could have been anybody that was standing there. The shooter could not shoot. Plain and simple. Donald Trump is a pretty decent sized dude. The dude has a big ass dome piece. You gotta just suck to miss. Ain't hit nothing. I was just like, and the thing is like, you can tell there was an experience there, and for that experience, he went for a headshot. Clearly, this guy had never shot at that distance, because he wouldn't have missed that bad. Like I said, 300 meters is the farthest target when you go to a firing range in the military. You ask any military veteran, you get the firing range, 300 is the longest. You got the 25, 50, 100, 150, 200, and the 300 meter. So I know what 150 meters looks like. 150 yards, basically the same thing, give or take a foot or two. I can hit that shot easily. You put an ACOG on top of it, that shit is now 100 feet or 100 yards, 100 meters. And it's just like people don't realize that and people don't say that. It's just like that is not something that you miss. You don't miss a shot like that. And like I said, there's a bunch of people that have firearms. They have ARs, they have pistols. Shit, some people with pistols get hit at that damn distance. A person like that, open line of sight, nothing in the way, no wind, no nothing, and they fired and they missed how many shots? Like I said, people still haven't been able to confirm how many shots it was that he shot. Because that's what I've been trying to figure out. The thing is from the angles that they show the video, you hear the first two, and then you hear the other 6 go off. Now, how many of those shots were Secret Service firing at the shooter, or was it the shooter continuing to fire there? Because you have the one shot that nicked him in the ear. People, look at, please watch the video. Donald was not moving. That is not a moving target. The man was literally situated like this, talking how he usually does, with his head down. When he wants to say something, he's been talking and standing for a while, he'll put his thing down. He always does that. The dude did not jerk or move a good amount. It wasn't like he was like moving a lot. The first shot, he did that. Then the second shot, he moved, but he was still in the same range. So if people are gonna say that it was because he moved, it was just like, if that shooter was actually any good, that first one when he missed, and then Donald got up, that second one should have hit him in the chest. And that's what people don't understand. Oh, damn, my camera just went out on YouTube. But I don't know what to tell people when it comes to that, because it's just like, I don't know what to say. I really don't. Because some people don't understand that. Some people don't recognize the fact that it's just like, no, that's not what happened. I was just like, and that's the thing, and that's why I say it. I was like, a lot of people are looking at that situation. If you have any experience with a weapon, a firearm, whatever the case may be, you've seen that. You've seen it happen. You've seen somebody firing. You have fired in a direction or something. It was just like, if that person was aiming for, let's say, his head while he was down like this talking, and he was aiming at the same location when he got up, Trump should have got a hit in the shoulder, chest, somewhere in this vicinity. And it's just like, you look at it and it's just like, it looked weird. It looked interesting. It was just a different perspective to look at, that is just like, you know what? This doesn't look good, doesn't look fake. It does look kind of fishy, but you can't say it's fake because shots were fired. The dude was shot. So you can't say that was fake because the dude got killed. So it wasn't like the dude climbed up there by himself and shot himself. But the dude did climb up there. The dude did not have any stoppage, any sort of security that was in that location to actually try to stop him from doing what he was attempting to do. And that's the thing that people don't understand. That it was just like, people don't get that. It was just like, you fired a weapon at 150 meters, which a weapon which is built to do that, and it's supposed to do that, and you should be able to manage it at that distance for a target that isn't moving. Because shit, you see people do it a deer, and sometimes the deer ain't moving. That's a moving target sometimes, the deer, and people get it from that distance and farther. And that guy was killed. But mind you, you had snipers that were looking in the direction that whole time. I was just like, y'all, it don't make sense. I'm sorry. It does look staged. It does look funny. It does look like it doesn't make sense to the fact that you had people looking in the direction and they did not see a person climb up on a building with a firearm. Wasn't a pistol. It was an AR. AR is a decent sized weapon. That person had to get somewhere. Now, maybe we get some clarification as to how he climbed up on the building or where he climbed up from. But the fact that people were telling Secret Service that it was happening, that's an issue. They said it at least 3 to 5 minutes prior to the actual shooting happening. Like, hey, Secret Service, this dude is climbing this building. And they just acted blind. Or they acted like they didn't hear it. Or they just acted as if it was like whatever. So that's why it's just like, it's hard to figure that out. Yeah, you ain't going to ask the shooter questions. But like I said, you're going to have that interview with the principal or interview with somebody that was in high school with him, explaining that he was just a different kid. He always hated the Republican Party, always hated Donald Trump and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's crazy. This kid is 20 years old. He ain't even vote the last time the dude was president. Anybody think of that shit? Did anybody realize that? Like, this dude wasn't even able to vote when he was president before. Now that I think about it, that just popped into my head. This dude was 20 years old. Take away 4 years. Because Biden been in office 4 years now, right? Somebody make it make sense. So you were 16 when President Biden took over. So you were 12 when Trump was first president. How many damn 12-year-olds do you know be paying attention to politics? I haven't found one. Has anybody else seen one? Anybody else seen a 12-year-old that knows his politics? If you do, it's crazy. If you do, it's crazy. But at the same time, have you seen a 12-year-old with politics? You haven't seen a 12-year-old that knows politics, but he somehow hated Trump. But at 12 years old, what do you know about policy? What do you know about government? What do you know about, like, you ain't paying attention to that. You don't know what the hell is going on. You probably been playing video games this whole damn time. Even if your family is politically oriented and stuff like that, a 12-year-old, unless the person's family is in the political campaign, a 12-year-old is not gonna be paying attention to that. It's just like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a 12-year-old that actually pays attention to politics. So the fact that you're going to say you hated Trump, what do you hate him for? What have you disliked about him? You were just able to vote 2 years ago. So the first time you were able to vote, you couldn't even vote for Trump in the first place. So people are saying, and that's the crazy part, that people are just like, oh, well, he's a Democrat. He donated to the, I think they said that it was like he donated to Biden. I think it was like somebody said that he donated like $15 to Biden. I was just like, bro, he ain't have nobody else to donate to. Who else is he gonna donate to? He was able to vote 2 years ago. He hasn't voted for a president then. If you look at it that way. It was just like, so how y'all gonna say this was just like a Democrat or a Republican? It don't matter. The dude can't shoot, and the dude is just like, well, he's not here now, so can't ask him any more questions. Can't ask him. It was like, hey, so what was your presidential vote gonna be for this 2024 election? It being the first time that you can actually vote for a presidential election. Because people ain't putting that together. It's just like, and it's gonna be the easy way out. It's gonna be the easy button. He was part of this. He was part of that. He believed this. He believed that. Yes, there is a video of him saying, I hate Trump and I hate the Republican Party. There is a video of saying that. Now, where did you get this information from? Besides that video, what else is on this dude? Because that starts going into the question like, what is going on with this guy? Well, what is going on? This dude is 20 years old. He has not voted in a presidential election. He didn't have the ability to. He was 16 when Biden came in. He was 12 when Trump was president. How do you hate Trump at 12? Like, I understand, like, yeah, family might say something or just like, man, we don't like this guy, we don't like this dude and stuff like that. But at 12 years old, bro, at 12 years old, what were y'all doing at 12? What were y'all doing at 12 years old? Yeah, what were y'all doing? Y'all wasn't paying attention to politics. Y'all was probably in the backyard or with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend experimenting or whatever the case may be. Or you were playing games or you were out on your bike or something like that. You was not paying attention to politics at 12 years old. I don't care who you are. That was not your number one agenda. Like I said, unless you live as a politician or have a politician family member or they work for like the campaign or something, there's no way in hell a 12-year-old is paying that much for it. There are exceptions to 12-year-old behavior. My nephew was into politics as a preteen. Exceptions. I'll accept that. I'll accept that there is exceptions because there's always exceptions to stuff. That I do believe that, and I do understand that there are exceptions to those cases. But even if they were into politics like that, if they were into politics, they would look into politics in all sorts of ranges. I don't think it was, I got into politics because I hated this candidate, though. That makes it kind of iffy, where it's just like, yeah, they could be into politics, but into the fact that they hate one person or they hate a party. So basically from 12 years old to 20, so the past 8 years, you have just been hating on the Republican Party, even though for the last 4, it was a Democratic president. You see how that kind of like don't make sense at times? It was just like, you're saying that, it just like, it's tough to like reason that. It was just like, yes, he hates the Republican Party. He hates Donald Trump. I understand that. Some people do, some people don't. But it's just like the justification is most of these people are of an older age. Most of these people probably voted. A lot of the people, look, I'll say this. A lot of the times when it comes to politicians and stuff like that, you end up hating that politician. Why? Because you voted for him and he didn't do what you said or what he said he was going to do for you. Then all of a sudden you start hating him even more and you really dislike him because of the fact that it's just like, you know what? This guy promised me this. He said he was going to do this as policy. He ain't do jack shit. I don't like him no more. And then it's just like, okay, that makes sense. My politician lied to me. I hate him now. Hate is a strong word, y'all. Hate is a very strong word. Only hate one person in this world. But hate is a very strong word to use when you haven't really experienced a dude. And it's just like, you can't put that as just like, I've been around people that love Trump. I've been around people that hate Trump and stuff like that. But it was just like, they had an affinity towards the person for a reason. It wasn't just, I hate him because of this. It was some sort of experience they had or something that they thought should have happened or something like that. It's not just, oh, a person becomes an extremist unless they're surrounded by people that continue to do that. So now the question is what was his parents doing? Because you know they're going. That's another interview that's going to come up this week on 60 Minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's gonna end up happening, and it's just gonna be like, hey, so we found the parents of so and so, and he said he was like you wanted to say, he's been politically involved since 12 years old. He was paying attention to Donald Trump and his policies and all his stuff, and he just disliked them and disagreed from him from the start. 12-year-old, but it's a 12-year-old male. He was probably going through puberty. The last thing on this guy's mind was damn Donald Trump. All the males in here, all the males can attest to that. At 12 years old, how many of y'all males here were concerned with politics? It's going to be, like you said, there's going to be exceptions. There's going to be exceptions. But how many males here were into politics at 12 years old? And not thinking about the crush they had on so-and-so from my English class that I'd see all the time and I get to sit next to. Come on, man. It's like that's it's kind of tough to see that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to listen to that and just be like, this kid was just like politically affiliated at 12. I was just like, most 12-year-old males are going through puberty. But it was like, hey, if that's how y'all feel, that's what y'all think. It's just like, it just random kid, 20 years old, never voted for the president, hated the Republican Party, hated this. Apparently has Spider-Man skills because he climbed up to a building with an AR on his back or however he carried it up and wasn't seen. So he got them Spider-Man skills to just climb up a wall or something. Even though I know there's stairs on there, but like I said, if you're a security team and you have that, those stairs are covered. So somebody's watching those stairs. Those stairs are not just being left alone. They're really not. They're really not. People are not just gonna leave stairwells or a staircase or a building alone just like that. So kid that hates the Republican Party, doesn't know any better, is stealthy enough to climb up to the top of a roof with a weapon pointed at Donald Trump, fire, I'm not sure how many rounds, because that's one thing I'm still trying to find information on and get more clarification on, is fire whatever amount of rounds, nick him with one, hit a piece of equipment that was way off to the right with the other, fire more shots, hit somebody all the way on the left-hand side, nowhere near Trump's line of sight or fire, gets hit. And none of the people that were behind Trump in that angle on that corner of the right seating got hit. So it begs to differ, and it's just like the shit. It's kind of it's questionable, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Like, it is questionable. It is hard to hold on. It is hard to question that, and it's hard to see that, and it's hard to understand that when it's just like, this is the best that could be said. This is the best that can be ongoing and be said about the situation. Like, it's kind of difficult to understand that, and it's kind of difficult to just put it into perspective. Like, all these things coming together don't make sense. I was just like, is it good to have conversation about? Yes, it's good for conversation. It's good for people to understand and good for talking about. But the thing is, it's just like there's multiple perspectives. But then there's the military perspective of military veterans, people that have experience pulling security details and saying how the shit don't make sense. Now, if people don't want to listen to experts on it, because I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just going off of my military training and how I would approach the situation. But you have people that have more expertise than me that have done it for longer years, deployed way many more times, been in those situations. But how is it that this guy, how'd he miss, y'all? How'd he miss? Nobody could tell me that. Nobody can tell me how the Secret Service or the police department allowed him to get that shot off without being noticed, without being realized. Nobody can explain that. Nobody can explain. It was like somebody asked, as a veteran myself, can you explain to me why you support Trump if in fact you do? I don't support any of these candidates. So it's not about Trump. It's not about that. Like I said, this conversation is more the fact that stuff like this should not be happening. Stuff like this should not be. This is something America should not be recognized for. America should not be recognized as, hey, y'all tried to take out your president. That's something you hear in like fucking third world countries, or like countries that like the military just did a coup on or some shit. That's not something that you want to hear on the news. In the United States of America, a presidential candidate was just attempted to be assassinated. That's not, like, me as a veteran, that bothers me more. Like, bro, what are we doing? It was just like, protect from foreign and domestic. Domestic being shooters like that. But if you don't have the stuff like that, it's just like, that shit make no sense to me. I was like, you defend the Constitution. And I seen a couple of people post on that. It was just like, we don't join to defend the president. They are our commander in chief. They give us the orders to go where we gotta go and do what we gotta do and do what we're great at. But we don't sign an oath to protect the president. We sign an oath to protect the Constitution. And sometimes the Constitution right now is being withered down and it's being disintegrated and taken away, and certain things and certain aspects of it are being stripped. Some are being enhanced. Some things are just like out of question and make no sense. And it's just like, that's what veterans are more concerned with. Because, hey, some want the political party thing, and like, look, I don't believe in a political party. I don't vote. And then I know a bunch of people are gonna give me crap for that. Like, oh my God, you don't even vote, this and that. I was just like, put it like this. I served in the military for 10 years. I didn't have any say in what happened in politics. I didn't have any say when it came to, hey man, we deploying. I didn't say no. I couldn't say no. If I did, I get thrown in jail. For what? For being a deserter? I didn't have that option, so it didn't matter to me if it was Trump, Biden, Obama. It didn't matter. They were the commander in chief. They said, hey, y'all gonna go fuck some shit up. I was like, you know what? I guess, hey wife, hey family, I need to fucking pack my shit. I'm gonna be gone for a couple of months. I might come back, might not. You don't get that option. So it's just like, why would I bother to vote in that situation? It's like, no matter who I voted for, if a war broke out, I was gone. There was no option. It was just like, I was serving the country. I was doing my part to serve this country, defend the Constitution, defend my family, defend y'all rights to be able to say whatever the fuck y'all please to say, even when it's not politically correct or even when it's incorrect. You have the right to do so. But it's because veterans are doing it. It's those service members that are doing it. It's not the people at home that are talking all this nonsense and all that stuff. It's the people that served. So all the people that served with me, all the people that served before me, all those Korean War vets, Vietnam War vets, all these people, all these people look at it and it's just like, you know what? We're doing this to protect liberties. And sometimes we end up protecting somebody else's liberties. But we don't get a say in it. You at home that didn't deploy, that didn't join the service, you have better chances at voting because the thing is you have it. Sometimes for us, voting comes to absentee ballots. We got to write our shit in. There's no voting locations in Germany. No voting locations in Italy, Belgium, Japan, all that stuff. You got to mail your shit in. You really think we give a damn about mailing something in at that point? I was just like, you got service members living in mold and buildings falling apart, and you got that. Like, come on now. Have you been to any of those places? Yes, I have been to some of those places. But it's just like, it's different. See, and then some people will say that. It was just like, but you're not in the military anymore, so why don't you vote? If I vote, I don't give a fuck about the president. Sorry to say it that way. Apologize for cursing, and at the same time, I don't apologize for cursing. I don't give a fuck about the president. The people that y'all need to be concerned with when it comes to the U.S. elections is your state senators, your House representative, state representatives. That's who you need to be paying attention to when it comes to voting. I would much rather vote on that topic of those people because those are the people that write all the shit. The president just fucking signs the shit into law. Donald Trump takes over. He didn't write Project 2025. He would be the one that signs it. But who is going to get the blame? Donald Trump is going to get the blame. Not the 140 people that have worked for him before. Not the people that actually wrote it. Not the people that actually devised it and think it's a great fucking idea. All of y'all gonna blame Trump. So why vote for somebody that doesn't really do anything? But that's the thing. It's just like, that's what people don't understand, and people don't process that. It was just like, you want me to vote for a president that does not really do anything besides be a figurehead to go to these other countries and be the badass. But hey, bruh, I'm the president of the U.S. Y'all ain't fucking with me. Y'all ain't fucking with my people. We got problems. I'm going to resolve them. Well, I'm not going to resolve them. Congress will. Congress will sign the bills and make the bills. Because when it came to like foreign aid, this aid that we send in Ukraine, this aid that we send into Israel, who's writing that? Nobody ever thinks about that. Because the headline is always, Congress approved this aid. Congress approved this aid. House of Representatives just passed this bill that just passed the House of Representatives by a landslide for so-and-so or whatever. Okay, then that doesn't, and then that gets sent to the Senate. Another policy. And then what does the Senate do? The Senate adds its own little shit. Like, you know what? Yo, that's a good idea, but I'm going to add this here. And then I'm going to put a little fucking tax cut for here. They ain't going to read this. It's like 900 pages. Don't worry about it. We'll put that tax cut in and boom. Hey, everybody, we got a bill to vote on. Boom. Everybody votes. Boom. It is now, okay, the House and the Senate have now approved this bill. Hey, my boy. Hey, Donald, my boy, I need you to sign this. Well, what does Donald do? Okay, shit, y'all voted for it. Fuck. And you know, and he gets the what is it? It's like 9 pens or some shit, them nice ass pens. I need one of them shits. Them shits look nice. But all 9 he signs that shit with. And then who who gets the repercussions? The American people. You as a taxpayer deals with it. But you voted for him. But he didn't do none of that. That was all Congress that did that. So basically, the people that you should be paying attention more to are the people that get the least publicity. Because when it comes to House representatives or Senate representatives or senators, basically, when they're up for election, that is the least amount of shit you hear on the news. Check to see right now if your state representative or your state senator is going up for ballot in November. Check. Go ahead and just check. See what it is they're doing. See if your representation is actually up for voting. And tell me if you realize or not if you were going to vote for him or not. Tell me if you actually know the policies of what your state senator is actually wanting to implement or doing for your state. People don't pay attention to that. People don't look at that. Said I'm making an argument against your point for why you should be voting. Yes, and people need to vote. But the thing is I've only been out of the military. This is going to be my second year out of the military. And I am currently in my master's degree program in public administration. And what I'm doing is I am studying policy and how to write policy and how to do the data research or the data research, however you want to say data, to basically be able to implement and provide and find the information that's needed to create policies that actually make a change for the better. So that way I can try to be one of those people you vote for that actually helps you in the long run and helps you gain what you want and gets you to live a better life. Because the thing is I get to vote for my state. I don't get to vote for your state. Your House representatives, your senators, my vote means shit. Yo, it was just like people's votes don't mean shit. It was just like people take it as like, oh, you need to vote all the time. Sure, I can vote for my state senator and my state representatives. And that happens every 2 years. I can't vote for the senator of Wyoming, which I don't know who the senator of Wyoming is, but that dude could be a damn tool. And I think he shouldn't be running in office. I can't vote him out. My vote doesn't do anything for the senator of Wyoming. And people fail to realize that. People just look at it as like, hey, you have the ability to vote, right? But you only have the ability to vote for the people in your state and the large election, which is the president. Besides that, who else can you really vote for? Because like I said, if you don't agree with a representative or something that's happening in a different state, what does your vote actually do for that state? Not a damn thing. Because, hey, look, some people like, look, we need the border fixed. Some people in California, we need better this. Or Kansas, we need better this. We need that. We need that. The person from Texas can't vote in Kansas, and the person in Kansas can't vote in Cali, and the person in Cali can't vote in New York. So no matter what you're trying to do or what you're trying to say, you are not going to get that. People don't do that. People don't waste their time like that. People are not going to go to another state to try to say something. Why? It's not their state. They have no jurisdiction there. They have no weight there. They have no constituents there. So it's like me being part of the Army, arguing with a person from the Marines and telling them to change what the Air Force does. That's the easiest analogy I can give you. Me as a soldier arguing with a Marine to tell the Air Force to change their situation. Doesn't work that way. It never does. Never has happened that way. But people don't realize that. People just say, oh, you got to vote. You got to take care of it. It was like, yes, vote for your state. Vote within your state. But I bet you can ask most of the people, they don't vote within their state. Most people don't give a shit or pay attention to who they were. I can promise you this. You can ask, go outside and ask the next 10 people you see, who are your state senators? There's 2 of them. Representatives, depending on the size, don't know. Ask them at the Congress level. Ask them to name you their names. And out of those 10, I can assure you, you might get maybe 2 that can give you one of the senators' names. And I can assure you, none of them will be able to give you all the representatives' names. Some people don't even know what your county, exactly like the local representation, some people don't even know. You know who your mayor is. You don't know your state Congress, because the state Congress has it also. State has a Senate and the state has House of Representatives, or I believe it's just the House of Representatives. You don't know who those House of Representatives are within your state or within that jurisdiction. So it's just like people want to talk about voting and stuff like that. It's just like, it's not as simple as people make it seem. Like your vote counts. And it's just like, when you think about it, the only time your vote counts that it's on a national scale is for the president. Besides that, your vote does not count towards anybody else because it's only within your state. You're only taking care of your state. You can only make changes within your state. When you get to Congress, that's when at those levels, they make stuff that it's nationwide. But at that point, you don't get to vote. You have no say in, like, how many people got to vote on the aid package for Ukraine? I'll wait. Besides that, the Congress, how many people got to put a vote in on that? Where was your vote there? Because most of the country doesn't agree with that. I would say at least half of the country doesn't agree with it. Half of it does. And it's just like, it doesn't work that way, y'all. And that's why I was just like, that's why I don't vote. I was just like, if the candidates are there, like, look at this situation. And that's what that bothers me too. It's just like, you want to say candidates, right? Candidates. You want to vote. Why is it that we're only getting 2 options? You want to vote, right? Your vote counts, but you only get to pick from Trump or Biden. You got a whole Congress. You got a House. You got the Senate. You got people in there. But these are the 2 that we have to go for. Because nobody else wants to run. But you got a right to vote, right? But where's your vote going there? It don't. That's what I said. It was just like, it's the illusion to make it seem like people have the ability to vote, and people some vote, some make change. When it's that political campaign for that senator or that House representative that wants change or something like that, people get together and they change. But you only changed your state. You didn't change the whole perspective. Because like border control, if half of the country's on border control and the other half isn't, it don't matter. But if your state is on the border, it's a whole different story. The thing is the biggest thing you hear is border control is you hear Texas. Last I checked, Texas isn't the only border state. Last I checked. I might need to look at a map again, but last I checked, Texas is not the only border state. But where do you hear all the clashing for, all the nonsense from is Texas. You got Arizona. You got Cali. You got New Mexico, I believe, is also on there. You don't hear the uproar and the craziness from there. But what? Because their state representatives and their state senators aren't doing all that. But like I said, it depends on how you look at it and how you vote. So if you want to vote, you can vote. Shit, you can vote right now. Was it staged or was not? Hold on. I think I got a poll too. I'm about to put that joint up. Where that? Where my poll at? No, that ain't it. But it's just like there's the poll. Y'all can answer that. But that's the thing. Is just like, but like I said, your vote doesn't change that. Yeah, they could have a conservative governor, they could have a liberal governor, they could have an independent governor. You in the state of Wyoming can't do shit about that governor. You as you as any sort of location cannot do or make any change on any other state's legislation. Why? Because you are not a resident of that state. Hence, you can't vote in that state. So if you can't vote in that state, it don't matter how you feel about it. That's why those big states is different. You got a lot more votes there. That's why they say your votes count in those. But like I said, look, I'm in the state of Kansas right now. The state of Kansas has 3 million people in the whole fucking state. This state is massive. New York City has 9 million fucking people. The state of New York has like about 17 to 18 million people. So when it comes to voting, voting is a bit different when you have New York City and then you have the rest of the state. And they're voting for 2 senators and whatever amount of representatives. But like I said, if they're doing something, I can't change it. I'm in Kansas now. I'm originally from New York City, but my vote means nothing to New York City because I am a resident of Kansas now. So it's not going to change. That's what I'm saying. So if you want to vote, hey, if you want to vote, all power to you. But you got to start at a certain level. You got to start from the bottom and work your way to the top, or you start at the top and work your way to the bottom. But the only way to make change in this country is by people of the state actually coming together and realizing their differences, realizing what they have, and then going out to vote for what they think is right. But you can only do that for the state because you can't do it for the country. Because nobody gets to vote when all these policies and all these laws and all that stuff happens in Congress. Nobody gets to vote on that. And not everybody agrees with all the stuff. Not everybody agrees with it. Not everybody agrees with certain things. And that's why I was just like, people don't understand that. People don't understand that. It's just like, people don't understand that the criteria and the things that happen when it comes to voting. It's just like your environment changes depending on what state you're in. Laws are different. Shit. I'm a veteran. I know it very fucking well. Why? Because I've researched and I've looked at almost every state to see what state provides what benefits and what entitlements and what exemptions. And when I realized that, that's when I started realizing, like, it doesn't really fucking matter who you vote for. It matters what state you're in and who you vote for there. Because if veterans, why do you think veterans move to Florida? Most people are just like, well, I don't like Florida. Florida got too many hurricanes and stuff like that. But if you're a veteran, you get no state tax. That's money in your pocket. You get no property tax. That's money in your pocket. If you end up doing the 20 years and retiring from the military, your military pay doesn't get taxed. That's a whole bunch of money. And then there's other things in there. So it's just like you just are going to be living like almost tax free on certain aspects in certain places. But yeah, you're going to vote for that. But go to the state of Delaware and they barely have anything for veterans. There's, I think, one state that has like a $50, like I think it's like a $75 property tax exemption that you can fill out. $75. But the thing is like, you ain't going to change that if you don't go and do it. You have to vote in Delaware and be from Delaware and be a veteran from Delaware to make that noise and talk to your representatives and talk to your congressman like, hey man, we need some more benefits, bro. And it's just like, it's hard for people to see those perspectives and see different stuff is because of the fact that it's just like people don't see it. People don't acknowledge it. People don't want to acknowledge it. People don't look at it and sometimes they don't want to have the ability to look at something from a different perspective or a different level of understanding, I would say is another way of putting it. People care when they want to care. People care when it actually affects them directly. Otherwise, people don't give a shit. Like Project 2025, people ain't talking about it because for some people, it's not going to affect them. For some people, it will. For some people, it's terrible. Some people think it's a fucking great idea. But at the same time, if you vote, no matter where you vote, the Heritage Foundation is basically skipping the people because it's going straight to Congress. And like I said, you can't control other states. You're not a constituent of those representatives or that senator in another state. So basically you are able to go and talk to your representative or send them an email or try to meet with them and talk with them and just be like, look, man, I don't agree with this shit. And he can literally tell you to go kick rocks. Or be like, you know what, I could think about it. That's a pretty good thing. The reason why he can tell you to go kick rocks, well, all these other people that donated money to my campaign want me to vote this way, so that's how I'm going to vote. I know this is how you feel, but hey, they making sure I stay here, so I'm voting how they want me to vote. And that's a sorry part about it that people don't understand. It's just like there's lobbyists, there's all that stuff. Constituents are being paid attention to where money talks. So it's just like, yeah, vote. You can vote all you want. Like I said, make sure you go and check out and figure out who your state senators are. Just figure it out. Just ask them. Send them an email. See what they think on that. Just ask them. Find out who your state representatives are. Ask them a couple of questions. Reach out to them. See how they feel about it. See how they feel about Project 2025. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they take your side. Maybe they don't. But if they don't and you don't agree with it, that's when your right to vote is when it comes in handy. Because now you have that person that is representing you that will put in a vote through the Senate that is saying, yes, I agree with this, even though you don't. That's where you can vote and remove somebody. Otherwise, once that person gets in, well, what are you going to do? When's the next time you get to vote for them? So this person gets to have free reign for next 2 to 4 years to decide how he decides to vote or how money makes him vote for the next 2 years without any issue. And people don't understand it and people don't realize that. And that's why it's just like y'all voting and y'all get upset and then some people try to disregard somebody because they don't vote. And I've always found that funny. Because people would just be like, oh, well, you don't even vote. You didn't even vote for the last president. I was just like, well, because I know the president doesn't do shit. The president is just a political figure. Learn that with the fucking military. Who does all the heavy work? The junior soldiers, the new soldiers, the young soldiers. Who gets to sit in the office and make all the dumb ideas and all the shit? The people at the top. And what do you got to do? You got to follow what the people at the top say. Even though you disagree with them and you told them you disagree with it, well, this is how we do things and this is what we're going to do. What are you going to do then? Can't vote them out in the military, but you can vote them out in Congress, House of Representatives. But most of the time you last 2 years with these people and that's what you deal with. So whatever policies and whatever they change, So it's like voting is influential when it comes to your House representative and your state senator. That's it. You only affect your people. Your vote does count in your state. It does not count for the world. That's what people don't, they fail to realize and they fail to understand that. It was just like, that's why it was created. That's why it's been like that since forever. But the thing is when this country first started, there wasn't as many states. Now you have 50 states. You got 100 senators, and I forget how many, it's like, what is it, 300, 400 plus House representatives. And that's who you have. That's who you deal with. Those are the people basically in charge. Then you have the president, which is at the top, and he says it. But then you have the vice president that really doesn't do much. You have the majority leader in the Senate, majority leader, House of Reps. You have all those people, and those are the people that influence it. And some of these people have been in office for so long that they haven't been voted out. If you look at Congress right now, there's a lot of people that are over the retirement age. You're over the retirement age making these changes, but then you still telling people that they got to work more because the retirement age is going to get pushed up because life expectancy is going up. So since life expectancy is going to go up, we're going to raise the retirement age. We're not going to pay y'all more, though. No. Y'all just going to work longer. So we're going to make it that you work longer, don't earn as much, and then go on. But the only way you change that is by voting, right? Vote, right? That's the main thing. Everybody's like, vote. You need to vote. If you don't vote, you just not doing it. It's like, okay, vote. Yeah, keep voting. Keep voting. You keep voting until you don't make that change within your state, and the people start realizing that it's just like your vote counts till money gets involved. You won't notice that, and that's what people don't. It's just like that's what people don't understand. It's just like you can vote. Go ahead and vote. Go ahead and register to vote. Go put your information so that they have an updated source of where you live at, where you reside at, and how you feel. I don't have to vote. I don't need to vote. If I feel something's wrong and they have it, like some states have certain voting rights for certain instances where certain laws or certain policies are going to be coming up, then yeah, have at it. Vote. Like in Kansas, there was a vote for, I think, what was it? It was just like they were trying to remove the ability to have abortion. That was actually a vote that was able to be had by the people of the state. Now, somebody from another state might dislike the idea. They can't come over here and vote. So your vote don't mean shit if you're in another state. Your vote only means shit in the state you at. So that's why I say, if you're going to vote, make sure you're paying attention to the people in your state. Don't worry about the damn president, because everybody votes on that one. But then the electoral college decides who gets the points. And that system is interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it is what it is, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, this topic ranged a lot from was it staged to was it not staged? Why would it be staged? Why it doesn't make sense? Why military veterans have a iffy situation about it? Why certain people have certain situations about it? Why it can be a distraction for other things? Why the shooter at being 20 years old hates Donald Trump when he was 12 when he first became president. Like all these different things factor in, and it's just like a lot of it is just like, hey, look, we're talking about it, but what are we not talking about? Actually changing policies. We're not talking about actually creating stuff that benefits the states or benefits you or benefits the future of your children. We are just here trying to figure out, was it real or was it not? It was real. Something happened. It was real. It was definitely real. Was it staged? Don't know. And yeah, it's smoke screens, distractions. That's what it is. And people just need to realize that, and just like we need to come together and we need to pay attention. It was just like, if your state is having issues, start getting people together in a peaceful way, in the way democracy was supposed to be done. Talking to people, getting people together, allowing people to see what's going on, actually having conversations with people in your neighborhood or people within to like, hey, you know what? This is the issue we're having in this city. How do we fix it? You start that way. Start at the city. Well, the county is starting to act this way and they're trying to do this. So you know what? How do we fix this? Say, can we talk about women's rights? What about it? But it's just like all these things are stuff that's put into play that us as people need to unite and need to actually come together for. That's the thing. It's just like with all these distractions, all these smoke screens, all it does is it divide people. Because that's what a lot of people like the few posts I had before where I was just asking a question as to why women follow Donald Trump. And it was because, he had those accusations and certain things came out and certain court documents where in New York State he's paid people off and all these different questions. But what ended up happening? Instead of being able to have a conversation with women about the topic, what it ended up becoming was, oh, you're a Biden lover or you're a liberal and stuff like that. And then it's just like, instead of trying to actually have a conversation with somebody and finding out what they're affiliated with or what the case may be, it becomes a name calling, it becomes a bickering moment, it becomes an argument over something that has nothing to do with us helping each other grow to be better people. And that's the problem. Oh, you're Republican. Oh, you're Democrat. Doesn't fucking matter what I am or who I follow or who I believe in. It should be, how do we help each other? What is a necessity of growth? What is a necessity for the future of our kids to be successful? What do they need to make sure so that we as adults that have the power to change things for their future, what do we have to do to make sure that their future is in play where they can get an education, they can live safely, they can live like, that's what we need to be conversating about instead of conversating on topics like this. Like, even though I'm at fault for it, because, I did spend the past, 2.5 hours talking about this whole issue with Trump. Is it staged? Is it real? Is it not? But at the end of the day, that gets us from the conversations that we need to be having. A lot of those conversations are not being said. Why? Because of those distractions, those ways of division. Like, dividing people is not helping us. It's just like, how can we help each other? Hey, you may be rich, you may want some tax cuts, but at the same time, it was just like, it's hard for me to say, oh, you get more tax cuts. You rich while people are struggling. Why do you need tax cuts? Question to ask. But if I ask somebody like that, that's going to be a whole fucking argument. Just like, oh, you just want to put up taxes. This isn't, I didn't say anything about putting up taxes. I just said, if you are already getting taxed and you are rich while these taxes are here, why can't you implement some of those taxes to the lower brackets? But we keep on going into a bigger and bigger deficit because we keep on spending, we keep on sending money here, we keep on sending money over there. But at the end of the day, I don't fucking like you because of your political party. See how stupid that sounds? See how dividing that is? That is just like, I can't have a conversation with you. Oh, you Republican. Oh, fuck that. I'm gone. I ain't dealing with this Republican. I ain't dealing with this Democrat. Nope. You're what? Nope, not doing it. Like, so the conversation isn't even had, or isn't even brought up, or isn't even taken care of by that point because of the fact that you've already made a decision to not listen to somebody because they are with another party or they feel like this. And it's just like, we're not taking care of the people we need to. Like, we lived most of our lives. I've lived most of my life. I would say I'm not at my halfway point yet. Think I can make it past that. But at the same time, it's just like, at the end of the day, what am I leaving for my kids? What am I leaving for the next generation? What am I leaving for 2 generations down? Or just like, how can I influence to make it that it's like, hey, as we get older, the next generation should have it easier. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that it should be getting more difficult for the generations going forward. It should be getting easier because we should be getting better at things. We should be better at developing things. We should be better with the technology and stuff like that. It shouldn't be that as we keep on progressing, people are working harder. How does that make sense? All these advances in technology and all that stuff, but we making things harder for the next generation. How does that make sense? How does society as a whole improve if we just making it harder for them to improve? But the resources are there. But we're just still making it difficult for people to achieve that or further themselves. So it's just like that. These are the conversations we need to have. These are the conversations that our politicians should be having. It shouldn't be how do we close the border? Yeah, the border could be an issue. But at the same time, once you close it, what's next? How does that border affect us in the future? How does it do this? How does listening to Project 2025 benefit us? How in the long run does that help? We don't talk about that. We talk about it as just like, oh, well, you don't want the wall to be built, so I don't like you. Some of the people that give the biggest arguments for the border don't even live by the border. They don't even experience what the border's like. Probably haven't even left their own fucking state. But then you want to influence another state stuff, but you haven't been able to take care of your own state. It's just like, how do you make that make sense? You got to make it make sense, y'all. We got to be able to talk about those issues, but come to a compromise. But at the same time, what is the benefit of assisting each other? Because at the end of the day, if we're fighting over stuff like that, it's less that we get to pay attention to what Congress is doing, because I'm at your neck, you're at my neck, but we need to be on their necks so that they fix and do better things. But if you don't get on there, you don't go vote for them, or you do vote, and then all of a sudden they decide, you know what, I'm voting against. Whatever you said I was supposed to vote for, I'm not voting for. And it's just like, it's tough to see that, because the thing is, it's just like the majority is people. The majority is the middle and lower class. Shit, even the upper class is still part of the majority. The minority is that top 1% that makes enough money that they can each give everybody in this state a couple of thousands, and they would still be billionaires. Now think about that. Think about how much money $1 billion is. Think about that when it comes to the corporations also, that you want to give more tax cuts. I was just like, y'all made all these extra billions with what was in place, but now y'all want to lessen the burden y'all have to make even more billions, but the people that are needing it are suffering, are struggling. People are trying to find better jobs, or some people are working multiple jobs just to try to survive. But let's give a break to the corporations that are already making billions and are already good. See what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of stuff we could talk about. There's a bunch of stuff to get into, but y'all, I'm gonna call it. I'm starting to feel a little headache that might be turning into a migraine. I feel like I appreciate y'all. I appreciate these conversations. We'll keep on having these conversations. But hey, we paying attention to the wrong things. We listening to the wrong things. We're not listening to the right things, and we're not communicating with each other. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to learn how to do. We need to learn how to talk better with each other. We need to learn how to communicate. We need to learn how to compromise. We need to be more civilized as people, as a society together, instead of being so divisive and not taking care of each other and arguing over stuff that really doesn't matter. Some things just don't matter to argue about. Some things are just done with. Some are not. Some are staged. Some are not. Some are coincidental. Some are not. But you do the change you can when you can. It's just like it changes by factors. It changes on how you want to do it. Changes how you go about it. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. People of TikTok, people of YouTube, I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all look out for one another. Y'all be good to one another. Y'all love one another. And stay marvelous. Just Cruise. I'm signing out, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Lizzie, thank you for the hearts. Appreciate all the gifts. Not necessary. We just here to have a talk, help veterans. We're supposed to do like a veteran workshop stuff, but veterans didn't ask any questions or something like that, so we just stuck to the other topics and we just kept on talking. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. Be safe. We will try to do another live at some point soon. We'll try to see when we can talk, and we'll just keep on having conversations like this. I appreciate everybody that contributed, everybody that said something, everybody that made a comment. I'm glad that we were able to have at least a platform to have these conversations, and hopefully we can continue to do that with people and keep on being able to talk. And actually being able to join together and have decent conversations without it being a name calling session or a argumentative thing, and more of a uplifting and joining together moment. So again, I appreciate y'all. I will check y'all on the next one. Peace.